Mistakes made by black men systemically gave rise to the conditions that allowed her to be masculine and made her end up with a man that you consider to be less than what he should be. And I'm telling you, black men are responsible for her being masculine.
Why the f you lying? Why you always lying?
So currently on the platter for today's menu, we have Umar Johnson, who has recently caused eyebrows to raise, to say the least, because of remarks that he recently made during a sit-down with the Daily Wrap-Up crew. The link to their channel will be in the description. Now, Dr. Umar Johnson, who is a psychologist, is no stranger to public scrutiny for his views that many have deemed controversial.
Consciousness over coochie.
While others have praised him for his commentary, as well as his views on racial dynamics.
Politics over punani.
And then there are those who are ambivalent when it comes to Umar. Cool with him 1 minute, cooking him in the next.
He wants to believe that he's this great nigga, that he's that dude. I'm number one. I am the best. I am the shit. I'm Big Papa. Every day, people are reminding you who your daddy is. Your daddy is me, Umar. You're not Papa, Umar. I'm your Papa.
I'm Pepe.
Now, no one is perfect, including Umar Johnson, who has displayed a tendency to sometimes put on a misleading charade for the audience, pretending to be on the phone with overzealous supporters that are awaiting commands to strike at his adversaries.
Nah, I got this.
To which he instructed them to stand down, and then the phone rang mid-sentence, exposing the fact that he was talking to no one but himself. So at the least, he has a proclivity for theatrics and presentation that sometimes is not what it appears to be on the surface. However, he's a compelling individual with charisma and the gift of gab. He also is a very intelligent man who has been able to defend many of his points very well in debates, while also besting some of his opponents who thought they had his number. He does a lot of public speaking events, to which he has no shame in letting the world know that about him.
I'm the most requested scholar in the world. I'm the most requested scholar in the world because I'm a descendant.
But sometimes when we do a lot of speaking from the head or the heart or the gut or something pulled out of your butt, we're prone to making the types of mistakes that amount to putting your own foot in your mouth. And many came to the conclusion that Umar did just that when he inferred that the black man is the blame for many of the problems that have been produced by the black woman. First of all, I don't know who or what the black woman is, nor do I know who or what the black man is. I know men and women who identify as black and many who don't, but closely resemble the ones who do. But this definite article, the, has a tendency of robbing the conversation of the vital aspects of nuance. But let's listen to a portion of the discussion that took place on the Daily Wrap-Up Crew's show that drew the most criticism.
There's obviously plenty of black men
Yes,
and black
it is.
women.
And what I also tell black women, if you're going to
married,
go get you an African man from the continent,
right,
you're going to have to understand that the way in which you talk to black men in America will not be tolerated over there.
Why the fuck is it tolerated? It's not tolerated here. That's what we're trying to tell them.
Well, over here, I want to say this to us, though. Because we try to act like the way sisters treat us doesn't have a history that we are not at least partly responsible for.
You told Harpo to beat me.
Most of our children are raised by a single mother right now. And it has been that way for about 50 years. So when a sister says, I don't need a man, because she couldn't find one strong enough to hold her down.
Stop the cap.
Or when you meet a woman and you say, sister, I'm strong enough to be your man. You ain't got to work or you ain't got to pay the bills or whatever. Pull back. I got you. And she can't do it because all the other men before you who disappointed her. So what I'm saying is, black men, we got to be patient with our women because we created that personality. We created that, and then we want to act like we didn't play a role.
We have to be held accountable for their poor selection.
No, you have to be held accountable. No, you have to be held accountable because they have a poor selection.
They're claiming I smoke crack.
So, men have to be held accountable because women are left with nothing but poor choices to choose from. And this is part of the problem with labeling women under the umbrella of the black woman. In a sense, it's not only disrespectful, but also disingenuous. Matter of fact, let's test this theory. If all black women are under the umbrella of the black woman, then Umar's theory should be validated if a woman was given the choice between a good decision and a bad decision. She would choose the good decision if only she were given the opportunity.
I need a drug dealer and then a scammer, then the 9 to 5. I want the scammer first, then the drug dealer, then the 9 to 5.
They like the fast money over here.
Because the fast money niggas, they got time. They can take you out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday,
But
Friday.
you just complained you
9
didn't
to
want
5, only take you out on the weekends.
Well, that debunks that. It appears as though there are women who, even when faced with a good choice, prefer to make the wrong choice. And that has nothing to do with the men. That has more to do with a preference for a specific type of man. Matter of fact, I'll do you one better. Here's a case of a black woman and a black man. Not sure if this is the black woman and the black man that Umar imagines, but here you have a situation where she is seeking a divorce. Now listen to what she states as her reasons for wanting a divorce.
We were like best friends. I believe, he's my soulmate. Everything was fine except he was too nice. It's too nice.
How does one be too nice to one's wife?
He was too nice, like it was scary nice.
You have got a guy who cooks for you. You have got a guy who doesn't care what size you are. You have got a guy who, who tells you that he loves you without being prompted or looking for sex. And you're telling me that you want to leave him because he treats a good black woman, which we're going to have to qualify, like good black women, a queen ought to be treated. And what you're doing is taking I am a self-centered individual. And I don't appreciate what a man has brought to my table. So I'm going to make up some stupid reason.
Yeah. So at the least, we can conclude that Umar is either purposely pandering or is displaying the symptoms of malignant myopia. But let's continue.
No.
There's good quality men that they ignore.
Why she even got it? Why is there even a Pookie in the selection?
You gotta ask Heather.
No. I'm gonna tell you why there's a Pookie in the selection.
Why?
Because black men have abandoned black boys and have allowed social media, white media, athletes, and rappers to raise them. That's why she with Pookie. If we never allowed Pookie to develop, she would not have a Pookie. If we're going to be men, the first thing we got to do is take responsibility for why our women feel the way they feel.
So now men are to blame for the existence of Pookies. But I find it quite baffling that whenever a man displays the character that a woman finds acceptable, the credit is given to the mother, which implies that the character of a child is molded by the mother, predominantly. When Monique was impressed by the manners of Charlemagne the God, she mentioned nothing of his father, but automatically assumed that it must have been the influence of a woman.
Thank you, and he was just like that. Yes, ma'am, and Miss Monique, it's a pleasure to meet you, and we had a very beautiful exchange. And I said to that brother, tell your mama that she raised you right.
That's a
and
fact.
he said it was my mama and my grandmama.
Yes, ma'am.
And when a man is behaving in a manner that is not deemed acceptable,
Get out of the damn car! Didn't your mama teach you any manners? At least you could ask me nicely.
there is often a chastisement that implicates the mother, which at the least implies that there must have been women at some point in time that did not raise men to be pookies. Now, there's so much more to this interview that I could break down and show the flaws in the way that Umar presents his premise. But that takes a lot of time to do, and I don't mind doing it, so long as I know that I have the support of the audience. So show your support by hitting the like button, subscribing, and commenting. And I'll take this interview along with Umar's premise into deep waters in a follow-up video. But that's it for now. I don't think I could take much more of the premise from the Prince of Pandering.
You're not a teacher, you're a preacher. And you need to stay in your lane.